don't know, you've seen the episodes now, and you still agreed to come on the show. So
I did.
I mean, that's a good start.
If you're pooping alone, you're doing it wrong. Don't poop alone, poop with friends. It's the number 2 show.
Well, welcome to the number 2 show. I'm your host, Johnny, and this is my guest, Nina. I probably should have asked how to say your last name.
It's okay. I'm gonna let you give it a go.
All right. I want to say, if I remember from the podcast earlier, Boodhansingh?
No.
No. All right. I'm terribly sorry then.
It's okay. Boodhansingh.
Boodhansingh. Okay. My last name is Smith, so no one has ever had any issues mispronouncing my name.
Everybody's very much afraid of my name when they see it, and I think it's just because it's not like Smith or I don't know, what's another common name?
Taylor.
But the only thing is it has one silent H and it's on the very end. It's just Boodhansingh.
Yeah. It's really not that bad. And honestly, if I had just looked at it prior to hitting record, I probably would have gotten
it. It's okay. I've gotten Boodhansingh, Boodhanshingle. I don't know. Our whole family has gotten very weird spellings and pronunciations of our last names, so it's okay.
Now, is the Boodhansingh from, because you're married, did you take your husband's name, or is that your
I actually did not
OG
take his
family name?
Yeah, that's the OG family name. I kept it because of my art, and it's just pretty cool last name.
Pretty cool. Yeah. What is your husband's last name?
Olsen.
Olsen, absolutely. Yeah, no. I would have kept Boodhansingh too.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun.
I told him, I was like, I think I'm gonna keep my last name. Is that cool? He's like, yeah, it's your last name. He's like, why would you change it? I was like, all right, that was easy.
Yeah. And I think as an artist too, like you've established the brand of Nina Boodhansingh. So to then have to change that to Nina Olsen.
People would be like, who is this?
Yeah, no.
I mean, people still are like, who is this?
You haven't reached that level yet. But I believe you'll get there.
I sure hope so. I mean, people do recognize the name, though.
Yeah.
Like they'll even say, they'll see the name and they're like, I know that name. And then they see the art and they're like, that's it.
Well, your art has gotten, I mean, besides like the shows that you've done and in Instagram following and stuff, your art has been featured on like beer cans, right? For a semi-local brewery. They put your art along with like your name and Instagram stuff on beer cans, right?
Yeah, so they released 3 of my designs so far. That was, I think it was 2018 or 2019.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Time
is just
a year and a half ago. It's just like time just means nothing now.
Yeah. But that was really cool. So it's Well Crafted Beer Company, and they're in Lansdale.
Oh, okay.
And the beer is very good. The staff is awesome. They also sell food down there. They have a little outdoor beer garden, but they have a rotating gallery walls actually. And like they do open mic night and stuff, and they'll do little like art shows, and they'll have more local artists like the Lansdale area come in and do like little pop-up shops sometimes. But I believe I was one of their first artists to show my work in their on their gallery walls. Excuse me. And they contacted me and they were like, we really like your work. It just fits with what we're going for and our style. Would you like to show your work down here? And I was like, heck yeah, of course I do. So I actually had stuff down there twice now. But it's really neat, when you're walk in and you can see like the 4-packs in the case, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that's my artwork on there."
That is super cool.
I had a
Very
few
neat.
people like when they were released. I had a few people like ask me to like sign the cans. I was like,
What?
okay.
That's amazing.
And my dad, like in his office at home, he has like all of the cans just like on top of a shelf, and every time like I'm in that area, he's like, "Oh, like go pick some more up for me."
Yeah.
And he has like multiple of the same cans too,
Oh, wow.
which I think is really cute.
Yeah. Plants are amazing.
Yeah, he went in the one time and he played like the dad card, and he was talking to the bartender. He bought a couple 4-packs, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like my daughter designed these." And he said the bartender was just like, "Okay." I was like, "Oh, Dad, you were hoping for like a free beer or like a hey,
Yeah.
that's cool," and all you got was a okay.
Okay. That sounds about the level of like wait staff. I
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
And there was my dad, like so proud. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh."
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
So you have grown up with both your parents, and it sounds from what I've heard that they were very supportive of your artwork and of your creativity and the path that you were kind of on. How do you think that has kind of shaped your artwork?
I mean, my parents, they were and still are very supportive of all of their children. I have 3 siblings.
Okay.
I have a younger sister and 2 older brothers.
Nice.
And we were always just a close family growing up, and close with our relatives too. I mean, like my dad's sisters, they are like always at anything art related. Like they make sure that they can be there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even know it, and then they show up. I'm like, oh my gosh, like
That's
number one
awesome.
fans. But yeah, I mean, I remember like going to when I decided, where I was going to go for college. It was kind of one of those things. I was like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I mean, I honestly had no desire to go to college. I just didn't want to.
Right.
And it was like, well, like that was the thing to do. It was like you go to college. And it took a long time for me to decide, okay, I'm going to focus on the arts. And my dad was like, well, are you sure that's what you want to do? Like artists don't really make a lot of money. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, because my brothers have the engineering backgrounds.
Okay.
And I was just like, well, I'm not an engineer. And my dad too. My dad's an electrical engineer.
Oh, okay.
But my mom, she primarily was a stay-at-home mom, and growing up, like we would do crafts together. Like we'd paint. She had like a craft stand at a place up in Allentown when I was young, and she would paint like pretty flowers and stuff on flower pots, and she'd sell those, and I was just like, that's so cool, like I want to do that.
Yeah.
Now I didn't start painting flower pots obviously, but but it was like I always had that creativeness in the back of my mind. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to go to school for this, it was just like, oh, are you sure? But at the same time, my dad and mom still supported me.
Yeah.
They're like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Throughout college, I just kept going. I was taking like every painting class that I could possibly take in a semester, because we had two art painting, I should say, 2 painting professors. So you couldn't take more than 1 with each professor.
Okay.
So it was like, I'm like, well, if I want to take more than 2 painting classes, how do I get around that? So you could sign up for a private study.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a private study studio. So it was basically just like a one-on-one. So my last year I ended up taking 3 studios. So I was just living in the art studio,
Yeah.
which was awesome. You
Yeah.
know, I remember the one time, I think the latest I was there was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I think,
Yeah.
which at the time I was just like, why am I doing this? But it was also really fun. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm in the painting studio at 3 in the morning. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Um, but once I graduated and stuff, and I started, I had a residency at Kutztown after, like, the semester after I graduated, and then I had my first solo art exhibit at the Eck House Gallery on Main Street in Kutztown, and it was run by the students. But that was like my first show, and it was cool because they had my name painted on the wall and lights shining on it, and I just remember my parents like being so happy for me, and like,
Yeah.
you know, like, hey, like, you did it, you know,
Yeah.
like, not that they ever doubted me, but I mean, I don't have kids, but I'm sure that it's really awesome to be able to see your kids achieving their dreams. I mean, it's
Absolutely.
awesome for me to see my friends and other family members achieving their dreams. So,
Yeah.
and I know they get excited like whenever I have something. They're always there.
That's awesome.
So,
That's awesome. Good parents are sometimes few and far between. So when you have good parents, like I'm very lucky. My parents are excellent. I mean, I'm not gonna put this on the internet because I don't want their insurance company knowing. But I built this studio in their basement.
yeah.
So they're incredibly supportive. When I was younger, I think I wanted to go to school for like film and television and stuff, and my parents were supportive, but also had that kind of like, well, are you sure that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
I think it's that parents want you to succeed in life, and being able to make a paycheck and pay your bills is a version of success that I think a lot of the generation above us, that was like success for them.
Yeah.
It was like putting food on the table, doing better than their grandparents and parents did. So I think there's that mindset of like, well, you have to be stable first and then you can pursue the dreams, which is a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes it is good to just say, I'm going to pursue my dreams. And that's cool that you were able to do that with your parental support, like even though they were like, okay, like you do what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely like a huge difference with like between the generations, because it was like, okay, you went to school, you went to work, you got the job, you put the food on the table, and now I feel like for me it's like I didn't move out until I was 30. So my husband, well, my now husband, he was 33.
Yeah.
And both of us, it was like our first time out of the house on our own.
Yeah.
And it was just like, are we going to be able to do this? And, it's like you live paycheck to paycheck. You might have some odd jobs on the side.
Yeah.
But you kind of just live, like you learn to just, in a sense, be okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there are times where I'm just like, oh, am I going to make my car payment this month?
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'm
do
there
like,
right now.
I need to like crack down on my spending habits a little.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, I have that mindset of like, well, you can't take it with you.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like I don't actually know how old you are, but I won't ask on.
Oh, I'll be 34 in a couple weeks.
Okay, so we're the same age. I feel like our generation of people has redefined success in that I think for a lot of us, if we're enjoying life, if we're happy and with the people that we love and the family that we've created, like that's enough.
Yeah.
For most people of our age. And maybe, I should have started putting savings into 401ks the first time I had a job that offered that. We live and learn.
Yeah.
But I think our generation has redefined success in that, like, as long as I'm okay, like, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? The world could burn down tomorrow,
Yeah.
so we might as well just enjoy where we are, who we're with, and, see what tomorrow brings.
I was driving home from therapy a couple weeks ago, and I was just like, I'm gonna treat myself to a donut. And like, I know it's just a donut, but it's
Yeah.
like, like, why not?
Yeah.
Just like eat that donut,
Yeah.
go to the show, buy a painting,
Yeah.
make a film.
Buy some of Nina's paintings.
They're also really nice to look at in your bathroom.
They are excellent. As you can see, they go really well in a bathroom setting.
I mean, look how this matches the tile behind
is
us.
This was not intentional.
It was not.
I asked Nina to bring some of her artwork, and she was like, sure. And it's like almost the perfect match, I gotta say.
It's like pretty on point.
That is pretty on point. Thanks for making it through to the end of the video. It turns out the true magic was the friends we made along the way. Now, I have no idea what video you just watched, because this is a random bumper I'm doing for pretty much any video I put out. But, click like, click subscribe if you enjoyed it. We got more content coming, so, follow along for the ride.